We are all doing life, but who knew life could be this funny? It's Doing Life with Maria and Chad, our podcast.
So over the weekend, Maria, I did some fishing.
You did?
I did some fishing, but not for fish. The reason I ended up having to go fishing is the story, and that's coming up on today's podcast.
I'm making a bet on Christmas this year, Chad.
You're making a bet. Is this some
Yes.
sort of a Vegas thing? What's the bet?
It's kind of a Vegas thing. You know, every Christmas, there's always that one toy that people can't live without. They can't find it. And then they pay crap loads of money on eBay or Craigslist for that one item.
So you've been consulting your psychic and they've told you what you need to have come Christmas?
Well, think back. So remember the Furby was a big thing for a while, way back when. Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yep.
Sleep and Snore Ernie was when my daughter was like 1 or 2. I got her one of those. But this year, my bet is on the child from the Mandalorian movies. Now, did you see those at all?
We have Disney Plus, but I haven't watched it. Everybody tells me it's great. I just haven't taken time to do it yet.
It is super duper good. So the child is what everybody is calling Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay.
But Yoda is Yoda. The child is like the same species as Yoda. And the child is 50 years old, but he acts like he's 2. You know, that kind of thing.
All right. Anything's possible in the Star Wars world, right?
Right. So Costco was selling the child. It was like this toy. And we had them a couple months ago and they sold out in like a day and people were coming in. Do you have the child? I need to get it. Where's Baby Yoda? And so we got more in. And I thought, oh, well, I'll buy one. They were only $20. So $19.99. Yeah. I thought I'll buy one, keep it in the box, save it until November when people really want it and can't find it, and then sell it for like $200 on eBay.
I think it's going to happen for you. I mean, I think you're right in that is it's a great prediction. You can't go wrong with Star Wars stuff. Even if it's not Christmas time, you're going to have some nerd someday want to buy it from you because they couldn't find that version of Baby Yoda.
So we are recording on YouTube, so I'm going to show you what it looks like.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Oh, look at that. Okay. And so that's a 50-year-old thing?
Yeah. So the child is a 50-year-old, whatever species Yoda is. And this particular item comes with a pendant that the child is wearing, but you too can wear it. And it comes with a frog because the child ate frogs. And it also comes with this little ball. And in the ship that the Mandalorian was flying, there was like a little ball on like a stick shift or something.
Okay.
And the child kept playing with it. And so it comes with that as well. So it comes with accessories.
What does it say on the box? Does it say how what ages it's recommended for? Usually that's like on the front
3 plus.
Oh, okay.
3
So it
plus.
is for kids. It's not for adults, or it could be, but
well, unless collectors want it or whatever. But I figure I'll kind of keep it. See what it's going for on eBay. But my husband said that I was a Grinch and I'm gouging people at Christmas time. And he was not supportive of my try to make quick money plan.
I get what he's saying. He's not wrong. He's not wrong at all. I also see the opportunity, and I don't fault you for that. But I will balance for you, because if your husband's thinking you're a Grinch, I have a good news story later in the podcast today that it involves doing nice things for people. So if you're going to rip them off at Christmas, you can be nice sooner than that. I'll give you an idea on what that is. But I want to.
I am not ripping anybody off. If they're going to pay, they're going to pay. It's going to bear what the market offers.
Well put. Bear with the market offers. I told you this before the weekend, and when not on the podcast, you and I were talking on the phone, I kind of told you what happened, but I want to bring the people on the podcast up to date on what it was. Our dog is a puppy. She's a German short-haired pointer. She needs a ton of exercise, and so whether it's going to the park or going to a dog park, like, it's necessary to happen every day, or otherwise she's crazy. So this was on Friday. I decided I would take our dog to the dog park. And it's same routine. You go through the double doors, and then there's other dogs there. But in this situation, I was there after there were two people already there with dogs. So I went in, took the collar off so she could run around and play and doesn't get tangled with other dogs or anything. And I put the collar on top of this, like, best way to describe it is like a column. And there's a shade thing, and around it is bricks that goes up along the column. I don't know if I'm describing it very well. But the long story short is, on the top of the thing that I set it on, there's a hole that I couldn't see because it's taller than I am. And the collar fell down in the hole. And
and that's like a $25 collar. It's one of those. Yeah, it's a fancy one.
Yeah. So it was like it was almost in slow motion. I could hear it because it was behind these bricks falling down like 6 feet. And it was clink, clink, clink. And I'm like, oh, crap, that thing is gone. And so I get up there, and it's already 100 degrees in Arizona that day. And I'm just like, oh, that's ridiculous. So I was talking to you, and I'm like, I'm going to try to get it out. I'm going to try to figure out how to get it out. So last night, my wife and daughter and I, we all went there, and I had these contraptions. I had a hook on the end of a cable. I had a tie down strap with a hook, and I was fishing for dog collars.
And
I don't have a dog collar. It was still 104 when I went, and it was like 9:00 at night. And I'm like, I'll have to go back. It's supposed to get cooler this week. But I'm going to go literally with a fishing pole because of the space that I have to get down in there. It's kind of like, was it in Chile where those miners fell down in the hole and they're trying to rescue them? And it's like that in a very non-serious way. I'm trying to go down this crack, and I can see it. I can see where it's at, but I can't hook it. So I'm going to try again. I haven't given up just yet.
Okay, you know what you need? Although then you're going to spend more money. But have you seen the advertisements for that super duper magnet that you throw into like lakes? And then the magnet is so strong, it brings up like bicycles and airplanes and like all. I'm exaggerating on the airplane thing.
Yeah.
But it's this. I keep thinking I want to buy one because it's like treasure hunting. You tie it to like a fishing pole or a this just rope. You throw this giant magnet, super duper magnet, into the water, and then you just kind of drag it along. And people have found like gold coins and money. They pulled up bicycles. They pulled up anchors. I mean, they pull up all sorts of like random crap just in the water that you can't see.
Is this like an as seen on TV thing, or can I buy this at a hardware store?
I don't have the answer to that. All I know is a Facebook ad.
How big was it? Could you tell, like, I mean, because I only have, if you're looking on YouTube right now, I've got about that much space to fit in there. Is it bigger than 2 inches?
I think so. I think it's more like 4 inches.
I like the magnet idea, though. I may investigate that. That might be another way, because as I was doing it, it's not only, and I know this is kind of getting too technical, but it's not only pulling it up from the bottom, but there's like cement that had pushed through when they laid the bricks. So I've got like a puzzle to get around all this stuff as I pull it up. So it may be gone forever. I don't know. I'm going to give it another shot with the fishing pole.
It's kind of like the claw machine.
It's
like the claw machine.
It is. I should have my wife do it then. She's always so good at the claw machine. That's like her thing. But
I think so too.
Why don't we do this? I have a game for you today, Maria. This is just kind of a fun game because we just came off the holiday weekend. Something simple we can do. It's what came first, the game, okay? So I figured out 2 things, and you just tell me which one was around first. I'll start with this one. Helicopters or Arnold Schwarzenegger? What came first?
Helicopters.
Helicopters did come first. 1924. Schwarzenegger was born in 1947. Okay, that was an easy one.
Okay.
What came first? Pinball or the slot machine?
Oh.
It's tough, right? They both seem super old.
Well, I remember like watching, I want to say like the 50s movies and stuff. They would have pinball machines, I think. Maybe I'm just making that up. And I don't remember slot machines, so I'm going to go with the pinball machine came first.
pinball machine came first, not because of your logic, but you are right. The pinball machine dates back to 1770.
Holy cannoli.
And the slot machine, I thought it was like from the 50s or 60s. It's from 1887, the very first slot machine. So,
oh, wow. I was way old.
now some more modern stuff. The Oprah show, Oprah Winfrey's TV show, or the Jerry Springer show. Which one came
Jerry
first?
Jerry Springer.
Sorry, Jerry Springer was second. Oprah
Really?
premiered in 1986. Jerry Springer show was 1991.
Ah.
Which one did you watch more of, Jerry Springer or Oprah?
Oh, totally Jerry Springer. That was such a shit show. I was just so glad nothing in my life was that bad that qualified me to be on the Jerry Springer show. That was like my logic.
And that was why it was popular. I think people would watch it and go, man, things aren't going that well for me, but look at this guy. You know? Okay, which one's older? Holograms or David Hasselhoff?
Oh my God. That's a... Holograms or David Hasselhoff?
The Hoff.
I'm going to say the Hoff is older.
That was kind of a trick question. They're the same age.
Oh, that doesn't count.
I know. I had to throw in a curveball for you. 1962. They're both Holograms and the Hoff. And finally, this one I think you'll get. Bruce Springsteen. What came first? Bruce Springsteen or the Slinky?
The Slinky came first.
Yes, that's right. 1943 is the Slinky. Springsteen is 1949.
I didn't do so bad.
You did good. I had to throw in a curveball for you. So I'll give you 4 because that one that was tied isn't fair.
Okay, well, I have something for you.
Okay.
Did you know that today, we're recording this on the second Tuesday of September, is National Ants on a Log Day?
No, nobody has told me yet. It's believe it or not, it's like almost lunchtime, and nobody's brought that up yet.
So for those of you who don't know what ants on a log is, this is a snack my mom used to make for me when I was a kid.
Yep.
Take celery, a piece of celery. You put peanut butter in it, and then you put little raisins on it, so it looks like ants on a log. So because I was, love these stupid holidays, I did a little research, and there's actually entire websites of people who have come up with different ways to do ants on a log.
Okay.
And there's different names for them as well, and the names are the best part. So here's my list.
Okay.
Polar bears in a blizzard. This is celery, marshmallow fluff, and yogurt-covered raisins.
Okay, that'd be good.
Polar bears in a blizzard. Monkeys in a tree. Can you guess? That one's kind of self-explanatory.
Is it peanut butter and chocolate? I don't know.
The celery, the peanut butter, and then bananas. Monkeys in a tree.
Bananas. Okay, duh.
Okay.
I don't know.
Dig this one. Zebras in a Technicolor nightmare.
What's that?
You'll never guess this. It's just weird. Celery, rainbow sherbet ice cream, and then alternating raisins and yogurt-covered raisins.
Okay.
Crocodile teeth floating down the river.
What?
That literally is the name of it.
What the heck is that?
Celery, grape jelly, and white chocolate chips.
That'd actually probably be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple more just because I like the names. This one sounds gross. I mean, the name is fun, but what it actually is gross. Bunnies on the prairie.
Okay.
Celery, coleslaw, and then miniature marshmallows. Oh. That coleslaw kind of throws me for a loop on that one.
Yeah, and you're either into that or not. I like it personally, but I know a lot of people are just turned off by it.
And then the last one kind of has a little music ring to it. Flamingos on the dance floor.
If you're watching on YouTube, Georgia, Maria has a speaker behind her head. It's like you're in the club.
Flamingos on the dance floor. So this is the celery, peanut butter, and then dried guava bits.
Oh, okay. All right. I
just love the names.
Happy ants on a log day. I do have a way to redeem our podcast right now, because earlier you were talking about ripping people off at Christmas time. This is something that you can do. The deadline has passed, but I think they're still accepting birthday cards. I was reading about this guy, Lawrence Brooks. He is the America's oldest living World War II veteran.
Wow.
And that makes him very old, right? So how old is he going to be this Saturday? I'll let you guess.
104. I don't know.
111.
Wow. That's one hell of a birthday.
So people can't see him right now because of COVID, right? So
Right.
the National World War II Museum posted his address, and you can actually send birthday cards. He talks about the secret to long life and taking care of your body. He says the secret is to take care of your body and be nice to people, which is, all good lessons. But yeah, I have the address that I can forward. If anybody wants to send us a message on Instagram, it's at Maria and Chad, or on Facebook, Maria and Chad on Facebook. I'll send you the address, and you can send birthday cards and make his day special. I just thought that was kind of cool that they're doing that. The other thing I want to do before we wrapped up the podcast today is kind of update a post that was on our Facebook page earlier this morning. I was talking about the movies that traumatized you most when you were a kid. And tons of people were adding GIFs and reminding me of great movies that were traumatizing in our childhoods. What was the movie that traumatized you most?
Well, somebody actually mentioned this one on that Facebook post, and it was Trilogy of Terror. Now, you said when we were talking about this off mic that you didn't really know what that was. So Trilogy of Terror was like, I think 3 different movies in one, like little movies kind of incorporated in one. And one of them was these people brought home this little statue of a voodoo guy.
Okay.
And from their travels or whatever. And if the necklace fell off the voodoo guy, he became alive.
Okay.
And he's got the little pitchfork. And so he'd be like under the bed. You could hear him, doing that. And it was just so freaky. But Trilogy of Terror, that one with the little voodoo guy, still to this day, if I hear
the scratching,
I freak out. I freak out.
For me,
what about you? You never answered.
Yeah, for me, it was the Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it was the third one that I saw first. But just the, I was so afraid of the dark when I was a kid, and the idea of a monster attacking you when you go to sleep. You know what I mean? That just adds another layer of scary to me. So I would say that was probably, but a lot of those that were mentioned. Jaws was a really scary one. The Shining, I didn't see it as a kid. I saw it more recently, but man, if you haven't seen that movie, that's wild. It's kind of a crazy one. So the final question for today, for you, Maria, and everybody listening to the podcast, if you could only have one fall holiday, would you pick either Halloween or Thanksgiving? You can't have both. You could only have one, and why?
Well, unlike you, I'm not a big Halloween person, and people are so surprised like that. I don't necessarily like to get dressed up. I like the party idea, having a Halloween party and drinking and making fun food.
Yeah.
The downside of Thanksgiving is...
Don't say football.
The upside is family being there, and the downside is family being there.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of a long thing.
Yeah. So, okay, I have to pick one. Thanksgiving.
See, I'm going the other way. I like Halloween more, and maybe because our daughter's still young enough, and I think she still wants to trick or treat this year, which is great because she was saying after last year that she wanted to hand out candy. But look forward to Halloween probably more than Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving for me is watching football, and I'm not a big cooking person. Like my wife does most of the cooking, so it ends up she has to work on it all day, and then it just seems like it's over. It's like it was good, but that was a lot of effort for what it is, Yeah,
and I kind of feel the same way. And I will say my favorite Thanksgiving I had was when our friends invited us to go down to Mexico, and it was just friends. We're in Mexico. It was low maintenance. There was no big prep with the fancy dishes and having to clean the silverware and all that kind of crap I did as a kid. It was so low maintenance. We had turkey tacos. I mean, it was so emotional and so great. That was my favorite Thanksgiving. And it wasn't even with family. It was with friends.
I think you just described my favorite Thanksgiving. On the beach, Lunchables maybe? Is they have a turkey one? That'd be fine. All right. So answer that question if you would. If you could only have one fall holiday, would you pick Halloween or Thanksgiving? On our Facebook page, on Instagram at Maria and Chad. And if we probably should remind everybody where we're at because we keep adding different places where the podcast is available.
So I know we're on Spotify. We're on Google Podcast. We are, of course, are on YouTube. Podbean, Stitcher, iHeart. You can find us on the iHeart app, the TuneIn app, and what else did I miss?
Pandora. You
Pandora.
did good. Put you on the spot. Sorry about that. Yeah, definitely. If you're watching on YouTube, you could see Baby Yoda and all the stuff that you could only see visually today. Make sure if you're listening to us on there's Baby Yoda again. Does Baby Yoda talk? What does Baby Yoda say?
Baby Yoda doesn't do anything but will bring me money at Christmas time.
But he doesn't say anything on the show? I haven't seen the show. He just sits there?
Well, he does he's like a baby. He doesn't talk yet.
Oh my gosh. I do need to watch this show. Thanks again for watching and listening to the podcast. And until next time, bye.
Bye. Love you guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks again for listening to Doing Life with Maria and Chad. Follow us on Instagram at Maria and Chad. You can now listen to every episode on the iHeartRadio app, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, Pandora, and of course, you can watch on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode.